thank all the witnesses for being here. I'll start with myself and would ask that the witnesses be as brief as possible under the time restraints. Chairman Hochberg, I want to start with you. You may know that while we're having this hearing, there is a press conference down the next building over, pep rally, if you will, talking about the demise and end of Ex-Im Bank as we know it. Controversy here in Congress, and we've heard a lot on both sides, as you know. Few questions. Is the statement true that Houston, Texas is the #1 city in the U.S. that uses Ex-Im Bank for its businesses, small businesses? Microphone.
Sorry.
And
yes, it is.
Texas is the #1 state. Is that correct?
Texas is the #1 state in the country for exports. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to withdraw my support for Ex-Im Bank.
Okay, you may do that. I don't know if you've ever heard of Olney, Texas or not. I know you're from New York. Have you ever heard of Olney, Texas?
Oh, absolutely. One of our great American exporters is from Olney, Texas.
Air Tractor.
Air Tractor.
Air Tractor makes small planes that fertilize the fields and also does other things, fight fires. Olney is a town that's near Burke Burnett and Flower Mound, in case you were interested where they are. David Eichert owns it, 200+ employees, and I would like your answers to be based upon this statement that by him, that Air Tractor has been using Ex-Im for 20 years, has never filed a claim for money from the bank. In places such as Spain, Air Tractor has been selling for years. Ex-Im helped us to get a firm footing that they no longer need to use the bank. Other countries like South America, the company needs Ex-Im to get financing because smaller banks don't pay any attention to Air Tractor in Olney, Texas. Using this business as an example, a statement's been raised, and I think it's a fair question. Using Ex-Im Bank, how does that, if it does, deny equal competition from other businesses that don't use Ex-Im Bank in the U.S., other businesses that need financing as well?
I don't believe it does, sir. I mean, when we support Air Tractor, it's a great company. They have less than 300 employees in a town with about 3,000 people. It's a big business for a town of Olney, Texas, with 3 traffic lights. We support their exports to farmers in Argentina, Brazil, a lot of their farmers in Latin America that are not creditworthy without our export support, without our guarantee. We're not helping them when they compete in the United States. When they compete in the United States, they compete in a free and open market. The only time we help them is how they compete against other foreign competitors who are trying to take that sale away from them.
All right. Does Ex-Im Bank give loans to foreign companies?
We will do buyer financing. In the case with Air Tractor, we actually provide a guarantee that the foreign buyer will pay over a 5 to 6 year period, and then that's transferred over to, actually Wells Fargo Bank is the one bank that will work with them on these transactions.
Does Ex-Im work with American banks in the loan process, like Amegy in Texas, Wells Fargo, and other banks, or not?
Actually, Amegy Bank, we named our lender of the year this past year in 2015. But we also work with foreign banks. So we'll work with a bank that the buyer needs to work with in order to make sure we can provide the guarantee that will make the transaction go forward.
If Ex-Im works with foreign companies, how does that help the United States?
Well, in the case of Air Tractor, using that example, it's a foreign buyer who has a choice. They can buy either American-made crop dusters and firefighting equipment or foreign. So in that case, if the financing is the one thing that is needed to make that sale, the customer, the exporter, has to deal with price, quality, value, service. We only can step in if financing is the one stumbling block and the private sector can't or won't do it. We can step in and make sure there's a level playing field so that they can buy an American product versus a foreign product.
How about state-owned enterprises? Some of the concern is that Ex-Im Bank helps foreign state-owned enterprises with financing. Comment on that, if you would.
Well, occasionally, yes. In many other countries, much more so in the United States, there are a lot of state-owned enterprises in transportation, in power, in utilities, and a number of those fields. And in that case, those state-owned enterprises have a choice to buy an American product or a Chinese or a Russian or a French product, particularly like in the utility field. So if that's the case, we want to make sure there's a level playing field, that American companies, American workers get an even shot at making that sale.
Last question. Let's go back to Eric Tractor in Olney, Texas. No, there is no Ex-Im Bank. What are the possibilities? What would happen to Air Tractor in Olney, Texas without Ex-Im Bank?
Well, Dave Eichert recently said, when I asked him, he said it's a matter of 68 jobs. That's the number of people likely to lose their positions at Air Tractor if the bank isn't reauthorized by June 30th. Because right now, half their sales, more than half their sales, are export sales.
Chair will recognize the ranking member, the gentleman from Massachusetts, Mr. Keating.